Chapter 11 of SRW OG1 starts with both LTG and Tempest roasting the shit out of each other. LTG then decides to finally get serious against the Hagane and makes an attempt on attacking the ship. Meanwhile, the Hagane is en route to the DC headquarters on Idoneus Island, and it's crossing the Wake Island, an Amazon warehouse base, where they decide to retake as a treat. Chapter 11 features some tanky tanks and Beryllians. LTG decides to BM us by not sending out any more units. The SR point requirement is for us to defeat everyone within 6 turns. We try our best using Excel, a spirit that grants the user +3 movement for the turn on everyone every turn. The enemies here don't pose too much of a threat. We're given the Hukabine, the hallmark mech of the SRW series. It is a dodgy ranged mech, so I give it to Latuni, which uses her high dodge rate to great effect. The Hukabine also has After Image, which boosts her dodge rate by another 50%, so I can safely leave her in enemy ranges and not worry about her. After defeating all the cannons, LTG decides to gank us from the jungle with a hidden submarine. The submarine shoots a missile towards the Hagane, and I sent some unit over there to shoot down the missile, as always. My units manage to make it to the shore by the Startron 4, and LTG forgets to ward mid and gets counter-ganked from Masaki firing the map before leaving, without elaborating. We clean up the stragglers and clear the rest of the map in plenty of time. After the chapter, Masaki explains that he's from the Maso Kishin franchise and you should probably play it, and his sidebuster is different from the normal mech because Masaki ran out of juice and decides to join us with his sidebuster for a bit. Masaki is an energetic pilot, like Ryusei, who has a bad sense of direction. More importantly, he's joined by 2 cats, Shiro and Kuro, who can speak and are very cute. Masaki decides to join us for the ride because he's also on the hunt for Shushirakawa, a plot point that I'm sure will be relevant. After spending some time with weapons and parts, we start chapter 12 with Rai saying that he'll kill his brother if he ever meets him again. Nagana gets an emergency transmission from Ermgard's dad, Jonathan, who's as big a player as his son. Jonathan is en route to transport a hyperfighter mech to Erm before being intercepted by Elzan. We first only have access to Sidebuster and the plane that Erm's in. Sidebuster itself is a decently strong mech with a big map attack. It's very energy hungry though. The problem with Sidebuster and Masaki is that Masaki has a hit and dodge problem, so he must rely on Bullseye, which he gets much later than everyone else. Sidebuster also has a very low selection of post-move weapons, making its player phase really weak. The SR point for this mission is to defeat Elzan within 6 turns, and it's definitely not happening with only Sidebusters hit rate. The victory requirement first asks Erm to move next to Jonathan. Erm gets shot down by an unlucky 31% hit rate from a submarine, so we had to restart the fight. I forgot to save before this chapter, so I got the SR point off stream instead. This time we don't get hit by a sub 20% hit rate and make it to Jonathan. After Erm moved next to Jonathan, Erm gets the Grungus, an absolutely amazing close range mech with huge damage and big tanking potential. Erm himself could also supplement the mech with Bullseye, patching up Grungus' only problem, which is the hit rate. The Hagane then joins us at the Startron 4, we finish the rest of the map and ends the chapter by defeating everyone except Elzan. Elzan then sees things that's not so hot and leaves. By the end of the chapter, Jonathan starts hitting on everyone on the Hagane, and by the rate this is going, Erm's probably gonna get a stepmother soon.